So, let me talk to you about the moment your child stops whining and fighting and crying about homeschool or about anything. When is that moment? What is it that happens when a child goes from whining and fighting and complaining to not? Now, maybe you haven't experienced it, so this is going to be especially exciting for you. Years ago, some friends were staying with us, and their daughter, all our kids and their kids, the older ones, got to go to a bouncy house or something. They had a younger daughter who was 3 or 4 or something, but she couldn't go. It was close to her bedtime. She couldn't stay up late. She wasn't big enough for it. They were all going with just the older teens, so they didn't want to babysitting a little one and injury and that challenge. So she started whining. She started crying and she started griping and she kept talking about it and wanting to go and wanting to go. And so I told the mom, I said, I can tell you how to cure it. And this is sort of when it just was coming together for me back when I was putting together that book on the absolute quickest way to help your child change. And what I realized when I told her this thing, she did it, and the child was happy for the rest of the night. And here's the thing. A child keeps whining and complaining because he or she thinks she's still got a chance. And that's what we do. When you see somebody that keeps griping and complaining, they think there's still a chance that whatever it is they want could happen. The moment a human knows that they have no chance, they'll change. Once you know for sure you can't go play outside in the rain, you'll change and do something else. Once you know they don't have that dish at the restaurant or that steak, the moment you know that, you won't want it anymore. You'll switch to another item on the menu. I mean, maybe you do and you go to another restaurant, but not normally, because we can't want things we know we can't have. It's a whole complicated philosophical reason for it, but just mostly attribute it to common sense. So your schooler complains and gripes and head down and bored and grumps and stomps feet or whatever they do. It's because they think they got a chance of convincing you. The moment you can convince them, help them understand that we're not doing this. We are doing homeschooling. You are going to learn your math. We're negotiating how much pain you're going to create for yourself and the family, but you will do math. The math will be done, or the writing, or whatever it is. And once they understand that that's the system, that's part of why when you have the same time and certain number of problems and all, that tends to help because over time they start getting it's the game and it doesn't last forever. That is, in large measure, the secret. Getting it through their head, and it might be unique to each child, but getting it through their head that whatever they're wanting to happen is not going to happen. And the moment they know it, the moment they get it's not happening, we're not going to do that. Once we know we're not doing that, there won't be complaining or trying or whatever because they think there's a possibility of still convincing you or the situation. Once they can know the reality, they're golden. If you want to do a little more, you can not only get them convinced that they can't have what they're complaining about, but you can also just do one more thing, and that is try to think through some positive with them. We've talked about this elsewhere, about what will be good about doing this other thing. But I'd stick especially with just starting to look at their behavior and know for a fact that they're behaving that way because they think they've got a chance. And if they do have a chance with you and you can't change, you can't do anything about it, maybe you just quit and let the kid have the way. But if you're the parent and you're there for a reason and you might know a little more than the kid, I would suggest you create some standard, make it clear what we're doing, and just make it happen. You'll find the whining will stop. It might get loud for a moment, but then it'll stop. Hope this helps.